I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I get up when I'm bleeding, barely breathing. I'll never back down.
This is the collision of common sense and comedy. This is Defenders Live.
I was 6 feet under. But now it's your turn.
It's about you doing what's right and not not worrying about what someone else is doing.
I think we need to
And
bring
it's
that up.
hard.
Just a hair.
Do you want to?
Yeah, like go ahead. Like really, give the whole scenario.
The whole thing again?
Whole scenario. I'm cool with this.
Okay, I'm glad I have your
I'm
permission.
saying I'm cool with like hearing it twice. Okay,
Oh,
so
I was like,
I'm good with
beg
hearing
your
it twice.
pardon.
But honestly, these scenarios and things like that, with these things come,
They're
up,
hard. They're really
they're hard for some people.
The problem with social medias is it's very easy to just kind of pop off at the mouth.
It's very
To
easy,
go rogue, renegade, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
And I know people have seen this before. And I, just so we're clear, had no intentions of necessarily bringing this up, and I'm not going to mention names.
Right.
But I've seen, one similar to this, and the post that got put up that I saw on Facebook was, Pelosi is drowning. What do you do? And even at the caption at the bottom of it goes, tell her only Black Lives Matter, which I have to admit is funny.
It's funny.
It's funny.
It's witty.
And then I started reading the comments, and everyone's like, throw her bricks and, do, all kinds of, basically implying that, she's a horrible human being
and let her drown.
And let her drown. And
wait, does she not know how to swim?
Well, I mean, she's old. So it could be
could be a couple other things.
It could be she's just winded easily or
it
whatever.
It could be a really cold water.
It could be.
Really cold water.
It could be. Yeah. Again, she's old. Whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
She might not be able to swim as well, whatever. But anyway, and I was reading everything, and I completely related, with everything everybody was saying.
Yeah,
I was right there. I'm like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then the more I started thinking about it, and it's something that we try to do on this show, but, I feel that we need to
every now and again
make an extra effort to be a voice for that. And so I went into this. It wasn't a very long diatribe, but it was
a bit.
It was more than it was. Several words,
right?
But the crux of it basically was you do what we claim as being, on the right. All lives matter.
Right.
Life is sacred.
Life is life. It
doesn't matter what she has done. She is a horrible...
Or what you think she's done.
Yeah, whether you agree with her or not. Like, because the thought that crossed my mind was, let's rotate that. Back when Trump was in office and the left had to have been circulating stuff like that.
Sure.
Trump is drowning. What do you do? And they're talking about, and they still do. They're doing that kind of stuff, and I was like, this is not right.
It's put it this way: in every story of good guy, bad guy that you see, there's always a chance where there's always a one moment where the good guy's put into the position to where they have to say they have the choice of saving the bad guy.
Yeah,
and it's.
And that's what makes them the hero, though.
Because they're willing to do it anyway.
Knowing that
they're terrible people.
Perfect, and as corny as it is, perfect example is Batman.
Will not kill.
Yeah, he never kills. How many times has he caught these same people and he still locks them up and no, they'll be reformed and we can do this and as long as they're away, but they live. And that's kind of where it's at. And so I kind of went on this thing and I was like, we all have to stand accountable for what we do as individuals.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not, if it was God's will that she was to pass away through drowning in a lake, then he wouldn't put me around her. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
My responsibility is I see a human being drowning. Doesn't matter what whether I believe what they believe,
Whether you like
agree,
them, whether you know
yeah.
them, whether anything about them, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You see it happening.
Our responsibility is to do what we know we're supposed to do, no matter what. And it's really hard sometimes because we were talking about this off air before we came on.
Right.
You know, it goes back to the whole, you're there with baby Hitler. Do you kill the baby or do you let him live? And,
It's a baby.
and yeah. And
Just because you know his name.
yeah, well, it's Hitler. He's going to turn around and go and kill all these Jews.
Well, hold on. First off, those were all his choices.
Exactly.
From that point on.
Because nobody ever stopped to think that, they're like, oh, well, you just kill Hitler. Well, if you were obviously there when Hitler was a baby, then you would be there as he grows up, which means
You should be able to,
to possibly,
influence.
there might be an influence there that you might be a part of.
Right.
And you don't know that. It's just it's one of those things that we all know what's right. And again, it's really easy, and especially on socials, but it's really easy to go, you are a horrible human being. You don't care. You do all these things, blah, blah, blah. I don't want anything to do with you, and let somebody drown. And we all know, anybody with a conscience knows that deep down that's not right.
Right.
And we can't sit there and honestly allow. And I did put this in another comment later on. I was like, I don't fault anybody for any decision. Just because I sit here and say I would save her, and because it's the right thing to do, and because I want to stand before God knowing I did what I was supposed to, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, you don't want any. It's not
Just
about
because,
getting praise here.
Yeah, just because you don't, just because you can sit there. And there was a guy who's out there, and he's like, yeah, I couldn't do it. And I'm like, that's fine.
Okay.
I don't judge anybody because everybody has their reasons for making the decisions that they make. Mm-hmm. I'm not there to make that decision.
No, but you know that in your likeness, if she was meant to die, at least one thing would be true, and that's you weren't there.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
To
and
try and save
that's
her.
just how it is. I don't.
Right.
And I don't, like I said, I don't fault anybody for going, oh yeah, I'd kill her. Oh yeah, I'd throw stuff on her. Oh yeah, what? That's cool. That's not
Well, it's not cool.
I wouldn't. Yeah, it's not cool. I don't agree with doing it. I wouldn't do that. But I'm not going to fault you because you did that. It's the same thing in the end of the day. The argument that I have with people when it comes to the whole abortion thing. Well, what happens if the girlfriend got raped and she got pregnant and blah, blah, blah. I could sit here and go through a litany of reasons as to why she should not get rid of it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
It's always her decision.
she, she's the one who, ultimately decides to keep it or not. And
Right.
that's something that she will have to live with forever and have to answer to God for, not me.
Right.
And so, I'm
That's all there
not
is to it.
I'm not gonna fault her if she would go through with the abortion. I wouldn't fault her. I wouldn't hate her. I wouldn't love her any less. Nothing would change because I'm not in that situation.
Right.
And she had her reasons and made a different decision.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things that I did put in a comment that we need to start. It's very easy to play that game, to be part of that.
Part of that cycle.
Yeah, that vicious cycle of, well, you hit me, now I'm hitting you harder, and you're going to hit me harder the next time, and back and forth.
Right.
It's got to stop at some point.
Yep.
It really does.
Well, I think it has stopped.
Oh, you do?
Yes. Well, at
Are
least
you sure?
Well,
Or at least it's in the it's in the process.
It's in the throngs of stopping.
Is it thongs or
Throngs.
is it throngs or thrall?
It's throngs.
No, thongs are underwear.
Not thong. Throng.
Oh.
It's an R in there. Anyway,
If you say
it's
so.
on the way.
It is.
Yes. You want to know how?
There's peace in the
yes.
valley.
They're right. There's peace. You want to know how?
How do I enlighten me? And please enlighten me.
It's funny that you say that. Whiteness is a malignant parasitic-like condition that has not have a permanent cure, according to research recently published in a peer-reviewed healthcare journal.
Hold on. No.
What?
Go back up.
Sorry.
Just for a second.
What?
Just for a
What?
second.
What? Yeah. What?
A research.
Research. Recent research.
So again, just
Peer-reviewed.
No, forget the peer review part. We're not even there
We're
yet.
already there.
So you mean to tell me that some research firm
Yes.
got funding
Uh-huh.
to research quote unquote whiteness.
Yeah.
Wow, I am in the wrong line of work.
I know, right?
What the hell am I doing with my life?
Dr. Donald Moss.
Okay, I can't because I've been watching a lot of the IT crowd. And so now I think of Moss as that goofy fro-looking dude with the glasses.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
It's good times. A New York City psychoanalyst published an article titled On Having Whiteness.
Hold on, stop. Shouldn't that title, I think there's a typo there. Shouldn't that say psychotic analyst?
No, psychoanalyst.
No, yeah, he is psychotic.
Yeah,
No,
he is psychotic.
Psycho, yeah.
Well, remember, to be a shrink, you have to have a shrink.
That's true. That's true.
Just saying. Yeah, he published it last month in the Journal of American Psychoanalytics Association. And he says, quote, whiteness is a condition one first acquires and then one has. A malignant parasitic-like condition to which white people have a particular susceptibility.
Only white people.
No. They have a particular susceptibility.
But that's what I'm saying. Only white people have this particular
They're
susceptibility.
just more susceptible than most.
Just like
to the
only
whiteness.
black people can't be racist. Is that what you're trying to say?
Parasitic whiteness renders its host appetites voracious, insatiable, and perverse.
I need a hold on. No, I'm not playing this game.
What?
No, keep going.
Okay.
Keep reading this garbage.
Moss
I'm gonna
wrote,
look at something.
these deformed appetites particularly target non-white persons. Once established, these appetites are nearly impossible to eliminate. Moss argues that white people possess an entitled dominion that enables the host to wield power without limit, force without restriction, and violence without mercy, and increases one's desire to terrorize. You okay?
Yeah, no.
You're looking it up. Okay.
I'm looking.
You're
for,
looking
one,
stuff.
I want to find this because all this is a story with
About the study.
the stuff.
Yeah.
Like you know what I did wrong? Hold on, I did this wrong. Oh, here's one note: dominating the other / ravaging the self. Parasitic whiteness at work. Ooh, that's got to be electrifying.
There you go. On Having Whiteness, Donald Moss.
No, I got that part. I want to do this.
I don't have access to it, though.
No, that's fine. I don't care. I'm going to do it this way. Define parasitic whiteness, a condition, a foundational generating characteristic ways of being in one's body, in one's mind, and in one's world. Parasitic whiteness, it doesn't even, no, that's not, see.
He's literally using the same words verbatim.
Yeah, it's not, and this is from APSA.org. This is that ravaging one I was just reading.
Yeah, but that's the same thing, basically.
Donald Moss on having whiteness.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
2021.
Yeah, so you can't read them because we're not registered to the journal. The only
we're
people
not peers.
Right. The only people who can read this are people who are going to review it.
Review these nuts. Oh, wait, here we go.
Oh, yeah, by the way.
Ooh, look at that. There you go.
He's white.
Oh, my God.
He's whiter than white.
Yeah, no, he looks kind of... And this is a black and white picture, and he looks pasty.
It's a black and white picture, and he looks pasty and bald.
Come on, why isn't it showing up here?
Anyway.
I want to be able to pull it up on this.
That's fine.
So I can read.
Quote, effective treatment consists of combinations of psychic...
I'm sorry? Psychic. As in like...
As in, woo! And social, historical interventions.
Hold on. You said psychic.
He said psychic.
Like psychic.
Like, yeah.
Like what the hell was
That's not what he means, I'm sure.
No, but
he means like psychoanalytical.
Are you sure?
No, I mean no. I don't.
No,
I don't. I'm not sure. You want to know why I'm not sure? Because he used the damn word psychic.
I can't.
He used psychic.
I can't just run like that. I can't do that. What the hell was her name? Damn it.
The psychoanalyst, who is white, continued, such interventions can reasonably aim only to reshape whiteness's infiltrated appetites, to reduce their intensity, redistribute their aims, and occasionally turn those aims toward the work of reparations.
Oh, I keep getting hung up on this whole psychic thing.
Yeah, I know.
So are we going to be making a call to like Dionne Warwick or something?
Yes.
And being like, hey,
Yes.
because she
Hey.
is a black woman too.
And
so-
psychic.
And psychic. So she can fix this?
Maybe.
Again, you're a white dude.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get this.
He has white hate.
But how?
He self-hates.
Is it? Okay.
It's self-hatred.
I don't obviously.
He hates himself.
I don't believe in evolution, clearly.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But this is moments like now where I really wish Darwinism would just kick in.
Oh, see, Darwinism is nothing like evolution. You know that, right?
No, I know, but
Survival of the fittest is real.
No, I know that, but I'm saying it. But it's attached and spun in with evolution.
Yeah. Because they don't understand what Darwinism is.
Exactly.
Right.
That's why I looped it like that.
Yeah.
But no, I wish Darwinism was like very big, like survival of the fittest was going on right now. Because technically, if you are a self-loathing white person like that, then logically you're the weaker of the species, which means you would die off and we wouldn't have to deal with you.
Right.
And again, I know this sounds contrary to the beginning of the show where I'm like, all people live, and I would like all people to live. I just wish all people would live and not be stupid.
Well, so here's the difference, right?
Because if you hate yourself by definition, the way that this guy describes everything,
More than likely, he's going to kill himself.
that's the end goal.
And you can't stop that.
Unless you continue living, and if you continue living and being white, that means everything you've just said is crap.
Yes.
Because you don't believe it.
Right.
At least not enough to really change anything.
Right.
So then if you
Either
don't believe it that much, why the hell did you bother dumping this filth on us?
to train everybody else into believing it.
Well, that and because, you make a good paycheck doing
It's
something
popular.
like this.
It's the popular
I'm
thing.
sure.
It's the good stuff, The doctor alleges that, quote, there is not yet a permanent cure for whiteness. Moss also claims that whiteness is, quote, easily infiltrates even groups founded on the protection of individuals and on the democratic principles.
The problem with this is you're not treating people individually. Like, there's nothing wrong with being part of a group, but everybody is an individual. Everybody's experiences are going to be different.
Right.
Everybody is going to make a different decision in different situations.
Everybody's gonna be a cat.
Pretty much. Like, that's just how it goes. And you have to, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to just go, oh, well, all white people are racist, or all white people are, homophobic and misogynistic and xenophobic and blah, 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 blah. And,
Right, yeah.
Insert, ism and obia here.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem with it is then you start taking people like, I don't know, let's say me, you,
Yeah, us.
all of us, then you're like, well, wait a minute, I'm not racist. I'm not.
But you are.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, we know we're not. And for somebody to accuse us of not, or of being something that we're not, that just infuriates us. And then we turn around and
We're not like that.
And then see, you're being like that. That means you are. No,
I'm
that's not.
actually saying that I'm not.
And
you're a moron.
Fantastic.
Yes.
And in a very
Isn't it great?
horrible going to hell kind of a way.
And the one thing that I want to point out here, before above and beyond everything else, between all the things that are going on, once again, this is a peer-reviewed journal, which means absolutely nothing.
Not a damn thing.
We've already found out that as long as you put in some of the craziest crap in the world, they will peer review it as go, because it's gold to them. The stupider, the crazier, it's gold. And they'll take it all. call Miss Cleo now.
Oh, that was the other one I was trying to think of.
Miss Cleo?
Yeah, Miss Cleo. That was the
Cleo,
other
she's
one I
good.
was trying to think of. Apparently, the voice is still continuing on to entertain people.
Uh-huh.
Oblivion flickering over on Twitter. Dylan, repeat after me. Arby's, we have the meats. There you go. You're welcome.
Yep.
You're welcome. I just this is so retarded.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know, right?
It's bad enough. It's bad enough when it is done by what would be by a different demographic.
Yeah.
But when you are a white human being who is saying that white people are the scum of the earth,
Right. It tends to be a problem.
you have a few screws loose.
There seems to be an issue
Something is askew.
at the Circle K.
Yeah. And I would recommend that, as a psychoanalyst, I think somebody needs to spend just a teensy bit more time on the couch.
Of somebody else's.
Somebody
Somebody else's couch.
like 4 or 5 other people on the
Right.
on the
They
couch.
you need to have somebody around you at all times to make sure you're not going to hurt yourself or other people.
Yeah, because here's the deal: is we're not people. Not everyone is like that. Are there racist white people? Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Are there racist black people?
Yes.
Are there racist Asian people?
They're racist every people.
Are there racist every peoples?
Yes.
Is it whiteness that is the problem?
No. And that's the thing. But it's also not a skin color. It's not it's not even the human being. It's the heart problem.
It's a soul issue.
It's who you are as a human being. It's
Right.
your insides. It's you have.
It's your gallbladder.
It is.
It's your gallbladder.
Some people have those
I'm
removed.
just saying, it's your gallbladder.
It is, but a lot of people have those removed.
Right.
I haven't.
Your spleen?
Your tonsils.
No, those can come out anytime.
Yeah, I know, and you can still live just like your gallbladder
Yeah,
or your spleen.
right.
Might be a little different and weird, but you could.
It's like 2 kidneys. Taking away 2 kidneys.
Why do we have 2 kidneys?
Because
How come we? No, here's my question.
we tend to kill one.
Why do we have 2 kidneys but only 1 liver?
It's a good question.
I'm just wondering. I understand that technically the liver is a tad bigger than the kidneys, but not by a lot.
Yeah.
Not by a lot. So
Yeah.
the question is why?
Why?
I
And
don't
everything's supposed to grow as like from the center out.
Yeah, I
Like
know.
when you're born. Like, why don't we just have 2 of everything at that point?
You would think. I'm just saying.
Like, we should have 2 hearts.
But again, this all goes back to the beating as one. This is the kind of stuff that gets cleared and then gets funneled to our schools, and then kids are indoctrinated with this crap, and then before you know it, they come home telling you as a parent how horrible of a human being you are.
Just because you're living.
And it's like, when do we go back? Take every human being at that one. Every new face you see is a reset.
Yep. Every time.
It's not the same person. They may have the same skin color. They may even resemble each other. Hell, they may be technically from the same family, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be the exact same thing.
In fact, even twins can be completely different.
Yes. I want to go back to that. Like, I don't care about being different. Everybody's different. There's going to be people I'm not going to agree with. There's going to be things that go on that I'm not going to like.
Yep.
But by God, treat me as an individual and not by some group that you decide you want to lump into because it makes you sleep better at night and gives you a paycheck.
Right, because it just makes you happier to know that, you can gather everybody together in little tiny groups and boxes and keep them all nice and neat and organized and everything else, and then you don't have to think about who people are individually, so you can treat them all as trash.
Because it's easier that way.
Yeah.
Again, it doesn't take work and effort.
Right.
Because it's not a white thing. It's a heart thing.
And organizing people into groups is also a heart thing.
Yep. That is racism. Because you're not taking an individual and giving them the benefit of being an individual. You're just lumping it into whatever you decide you want it to be, and you're a douche.
Right.
You're a douche.
Yeah. Okay, now having two noses is completely off charts here, man. Because we have two nostrils. Your nose is on the dead center of where everything grows out of. So you have two nostrils. You don't need two noses.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, the whole, if we're condemned as worthless, hopeless white people, then really we have nothing to lose, do we? No, we do.
We do.
We do, because again, as I said at the beginning of the show, we have to stand before God and give an account for what we've done.
It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks of us.
It's what did you do? It's what did you do in the face of blank situation?
Right.
And it's a hard thing to do, and I get it. And it's really hard for folks if you're not
of faith,
of
some kind of faith.
Yeah, of any kind, really. And I understand that, but at the same time, you have to give an account.
Yeah,
you have to be responsible for what you did. And I, just for one, would rather be different on the other side. I would like it if when I'm dead and gone, yes, we may be condemned and worthless and hopeless with nothing to lose, but at least I would like for my grandkids or whoever and anybody who's ever known me to look back after I'm dead and go, you know what, though? We may have, been on a, one-way ticket to hell and...
But at least
that guy turned around and stood up and said something. At least he stuck to, what was right, even though it was pointless.
And difficult.
Because who are we to say if it's pointless or not?
Right. Because it may be pointless to you, but maybe not to them.
Well, it's definitely not pointless to God.
That's right.
This is Defenders Live.
So if you're not watching on the Facebooks or on the YouTubes or anything like that, you didn't hear this discussion. So we're going to rehash this one now.
Just a little bit.
Just for the radio and podcasting purposes. Oblivion Flickering over on Twitter says, if we're been condemned as worthless, hopeless white people, then we really have nothing to lose, do we?
Yes, we do.
And we do.
We do.
We have our dignity. We have to as
we have our soul.
We have our soul. We as a human being, and I get if for anybody who happens to be listening who is not of any form of any faith anywhere, I understand this is a little bit hard to swallow, but for those of us who are, you have to give an account when your life is over for what you've done, no matter what.
Right.
And the question then becomes, what did you do? Now, I would much rather, at the end of my life, thousands of years or 100 years or whatever, generation down the road, yes, it might be pointless and worthless, and we may be in a bad situation in 100 years, but I would love, what I want is for my children, my grandchildren to be able to point back and go, that is the strength that I want to be able to maintain. I want to be able to pass that on, and I want my God to turn around and look at me and go, well done.
Yep.
That's my faith. That's what I believe.
Right. If you don't have a faith, well, then you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's true. Your life is much easier than mine. But we know what is right. And a lot of times it is really hard to do. Nobody wants to hear it. I don't want to be even talking about it.
Well, yeah,
I'd much rather being a Friday. I'd much rather be a smartass and laugh and joke and do stupid stuff. And
okay, well, I got one for you then.
All right, lay it on me. Hit me with your best shot.
Well, it's a hard pill to swallow.
Oh, really? We're going to Alanis Morissette?
No, that's Jagged Little Pill.
No. I mean, it is, but she uses the lines. I think she used the line in there. It was a hard pill to swallow.
Maybe. She might have.
A jagged little pill. Yeah, it was a hard to swallow, jagged little. I don't know.
Well, so amid the
I
current.
Get past her voice. And then her in Dogma was like a joke.
Oh, it was bad.
You might as well close that out. There's no reason.
Yeah, there's no reason to even have that up.
We already got it running into the hell.
Anyway, so amid the current cicada invasion underway.
Don't tell me this has. It's all climate change. It has completely messed with the ecosystems of the poor cicadas. They don't know what to do, and they're here and they're terrorizing everything. And we need to dump more money into not global warming, excuse me, because we can't use that phrase anymore. We have to climate change. It's all about climate change, right? Is that? Did I nail it? Did I hit it?
You
so close. Missed it by that much.
Just so close. The students at Princeton High School.
Oh shit. That's all right. There's your first mistake. I'm sorry if you were at and not that I take anything that comes from a college to have any weight.
Yeah.
But if you're in high school, shut the hell up.
No. You'll love this.
Okay.
They're getting really creative.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
They're eating cicadas.
What?
Yeah.
Like the bug.
Yeah, the bug.
Okay.
In tacos. Cicada tacos.
So, if you put them onto a tortilla instead of a crunchy shell, you kind of get that soft, crunchy thing all at one time.
Well, they're smothering them in avocado. So they're making guacamole and then putting guac inside of a taco and then putting it on top. Putting cicadas.
Now, hold on.
Dead cicadas.
Now,
on top of the guac.
I do need a little clarification.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
Are we talking about an actual
taco?
No, not that. Are we talking about an actual cicada, or are we talking about the skins that they leave on trees?
Oh, no. We're talking about actual cicadas.
Oh, son of a bitch. Damn that. Are you kidding me?
No.
You mean oh my God. Clearly.
Yeah.
And where's this? Jersey?
Yeah. Jersey.
Of course it's Jersey.
The Garden State.
Stupid.
Trash dump.
Really? I think some of you guys need to go down to Kentucky or something and learn real quick that, there's much better tasting stuff. I don't know. I'd eat roadkill.
Half the time.
I can't remember where it was.
Roadkill Cafe?
Oh, yeah. No, I've had roadkill before.
Swirl of squirrel soup?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You hit them, we fry them.
That's right.
You beat them, we steam them.
That's the whole deal.
But roadkill. There was a story I remember a long time ago, and it might have been in Kentucky, it might have been even for the prisoners. But they were feeding either a school or prisoners, because there was so much. And obviously it had requirements, but they were giving them roadkill.
It had to be dead
it
had to be dead within a certain amount of time. They couldn't.
Well, yeah, it couldn't be oh look, it's been here for a week.
Literally, I just hit this thing with my car and now it's dead.
Yeah, come get this, and then they carry it down and they do whatever.
Yeah.
But cicadas.
Oh, jeez. That's right. You heard it right. There's an insect eating club at the Princeton, New Jersey High School. And teacher Mark Eastburn joined club members at a recent cicada catching and tasting party.
Have you ever had... Oh, I was going to say a cicada, but have you ever eaten a bug, period? And I'm not... No, hold on. Time out.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about...
The answer's still yes.
Again, let me finish. I'm not talking about you're talking or you have your mouth open and a fly goes in there and it hits the back of your throat. Yeah. I'm talking about a legit and I'm not talking about, chocolate covered ants or nothing like that. Yeah, I'm talking about legit pick up live creature.
Yeah.
And shove it into your mouth and crunch, crunch, crunch.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Not the greatest.
I was a kid that was in the dirt a lot.
No,
I was going through the dirt a lot.
No, and I mean I've had my share. But at the same time, it's one of those things. It's just why?
Why?
It's not like it tastes good by itself.
It really doesn't. It's really not that good.
Anything that you put into your mouth that you have to cover up with a sauce, when I mean cover, I mean drench.
Yeah, completely coat.
Yes. When you have to do that to it, you probably shouldn't be eating it. My humble opinion.
I mean, that is true.
I wouldn't anyway.
If you don't have to, but you decide to drench it in stuff, that's your own thing. But if you have to make it taste good
for
enough,
everybody or anybody to
Yeah.
eat it, you have to go, look, we've got 6 gallons of ranch poured on top of it. Enjoy.
have fun.
You know, like a dog turd.
right.
You know, you pour enough.
No, I don't think that works.
Well, no. I would bet under certain conditions, you pour enough ranch or any other flavoring that you want onto a dog turd, somebody will eat it because the sauce will cover it up. But if you can't do it plain, then you don't need to be eating it. Is the point I'm trying to make.
Yes, I agree with that point. I agree with
That's
that.
all
point.
I'm saying.
Quote, we're going to have to get more used to eating insects.
Why?
Eastburn told the outlet.
Why?
As the population of the Earth continues to grow,
Shut
protein
up.
sources
Shut
are
up.
going to be harder and harder to raise. So, really, insects are the solution to a lot of the world's problems. That's what we're hoping to inspire the next generation to pursue.
Protein
Protein.
sources
Yes.
are
Bugs.
going to be harder
And harder.
to find.
Harder and harder to find.
Let's see.
So you were almost there because this is a total relation with the global climate thing.
Let's see. Hold on, I worded that wrong. I always look up wrong things on my.
Anyway, while you're doing that,
you do that.
More from the NewJersey.com says there are plenty of options on the menu. Some feature insects' bodies that in recognizable forms. Other were salted, roasted cicada, cicada stir fry, deep fried, soft shell cicada.
Ooh, soft shit. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Doesn't that defeat the purpose?
Yes.
Because you're deep frying it, so you're making it crunchy, but it's a soft shell.
No. Yeah.
So you want the
Yeah. You want the goop on the inside.
You want the goop on the inside.
Yeah.
It's like eating an eclair.
Yeah, except for its
you
bug
nasties.
guts.
That's disgusting.
Other dishes didn't scream, quote, that
Really?
there are bugs in my food at first glance anyway, such as cicada banana bread with nuts or chocolate chips and cicada cookies.
Okay.
At one point during the afternoon, club founder Matthew Livingston came out on the deck from the kitchen and yelled something not often heard at dinner parties. Cicada smoothies. Anyone want to help me make them?
Help them throw in the trash and give me a real damn smoothie, you jackass.
And of course they did. They ate tons of cicada.
Okay.
And they had cicadaed.
So
They were desiccated.
they're desiccated with the desiccatus. So let's go to back. Well, they have to get used to eating
Bugs.
because protein is going to be harder to find.
Yeah, protein.
High protein foods.
Okay.
Black beans,
Yeah.
lima beans,
Yeah.
corn,
Yeah.
salmon, potatoes, broccoli,
Yeah.
cauliflower,
Right.
Chinese cabbage, which
It's different.
I bet, but still,
Yeah.
eggs, beef,
Yep.
chicken breast, oats, tuna,
Yep.
tempeh, spirulina.
Spirulina, yeah.
What is that? I've never heard of that one before.
It's fine.
Legumes.
Legumes.
You can't have those.
I can't have them.
Hemp seeds, sun-dried tomatoes, guava, artichokes, peas, bison, pork, turkey, chickpeas,
Yep.
quinoa,
Yep.
Greek yogurt,
Yep.
cottage cheese, almonds, milk, lentils, pumpkin seeds, avocados,
Avocados.
pistachios,
Yep.
chai seeds, nut
You know,
butters.
I had a whole bag
Which
of
that sounds-
pistachios. Nut butters, yeah.
We got a bag of those at home.
I had a whole, like the
Girlfriend loves them.
pistachios that were already shelled.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think these are already shelled. I don't know. I'll eat them, but I'm not a fan.
No. If they're already shelled, I'm all for it, bro.
Yeah. No, my this is, isolate this audio. My nut of choice is cashew. I love
That does make sense. They're creamy.
I love
And they have just
cashews,
they have a
man.
snap, and then they're
Yep.
creamy.
Problem with it is they're so. I mean, all nuts are expensive, but those are some expensive
So are
nuts to get
pistachios,
your hands
bro.
on.
And pistachios are also a natural diuretic. So if you eat too many of them, it makes you have diarrhea.
Nice. I'm going back to this.
It's a weird thing to know. But
Nut
it's
butters.
true.
Don't they mean nutter butters?
No, nut butters.
I've never heard of a nut butter.
A nut butter is pretty much any
Including
nut.
peanut butter.
Any nut that can become buttered.
Oh, gotcha. Roger.
Any
that.
creamed.
Halibut, asparagus, watercress. Now, I don't like those. No, I'm sorry. I'm
Watercress
thinking,
are okay. Like
is that the same thing as water chestnuts?
Water, yes.
I hate those.
Guess.
Because I don't like the that crunch.
No, so watercress is it's like they usually slice them into like little slivers and put them on
and they're
salads
white
and
in
yeah,
circles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then it is the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I hate them.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's not the flavor, but the biting into it.
It's weird.
It's one of those, like, nails on a chalkboard, make your skin crawl kind of thing for me. Brussels sprouts, spelt, teff, whey protein powder.
Yeah.
That is just 43 different things that you could put into your mouth instead of bugs.
And not beef.
And, yeah, well, no, I think...
The beef was never in there. Milk was in there. But
no, beef was.
You did pork.
Hold on.
You did chicken.
Turkey, pork, well, bison.
Bison. You didn't do beef. You did bison.
I swear I read beef.
No, these are all alternative.
No, there it is right there. Beef.
Is it?
Number 10.
Oh, number 10. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't hear you beef.
Yeah.
Sorry. So, beef number 10. But everything else was basically an alternative protein
Yeah.
to beef.
Yeah. I'm just saying. The thing about it is, like, you're like, well, we have to get used to eating bugs. I'm sorry, but so long as those 43 items are still in existence, yeah, you can eat your bugs, Chief. That's just more of that 43 foods for me.
Mm-hmm. Tech Roo over on the Twitters, pistachio, bring out my inner chipmunk. I understand.
Night you say, nee, some jackass will eat a dog turd regardless.
It's true.
How did Joe Rogan make his career?
Oh.
Wow. I don't know, actually. I thought he was an MMA fighter, but that's just me.
And yes, Peekapool, I am the greatest showman. Thank you.
I don't understand. Like, I get it if, you live in a place that has to do with, oh, well, we can't afford to grow this, or we can't do this, or we can't do it. That's fine. Like in the Asias.
Yes.
Where, they choose to build ghost towns and instead of leaving it for farmland or whatever.
Yep.
But we live in America. And it's not to do with a wealth or a pride thing or better than anybody else. We have land. We have space.
And food.
Yes, there's no reason as to why I need to be eating a bug in America unless it's a dare or someone's giving me money.
And here's the other thing. If there ever does come a day where bugs are the only protein I can get, I'm not going to care.
Yeah, at that point.
At that point, I'm already done.
Yeah.
Why would I need to get used to it now if I have to be forcibly used to it because everything's gone?
Yeah, exactly. Because once trust me, once you haven't eaten for a rather long time,
you'll eat it anyway.
You'll eat anything.
It'll be fine. And you'll eat it raw.
Uh-huh. I'm just saying that, like, you could eat raw fish. It is, I'm not talking.
No, you're not talking sushi.
I'm not talking sushi.
Fish.
I'm talking grab a fish out of the lake, to pull the scales off of it, pull the guts out of it, and just bite into it.
And go.
It nasty as sin.
But you'll do it.
But you do it, and you'll live. It'll feed you. It'll sustain you.
Right.
So, but you don't see me doing that. I like mine, like, beer battered and dipped and all kinds of junk. See, I really want to go to, like, Long John Silver's now.
Mm-hmm.
But the closest one's in Nightdale, so it's like an hour and a half drive one way. Like, I'm not driving all the way out there for a couple things of fish. And that particular one is it's a Long John Silver's Taco Bell combo place.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, KFC. And they never get the order right. Never. I've tried so many times. I've spelled it out for them. They never get it right.
Huh. It's funny how that works. Angel Decker Corey. I'm gonna go Corey on this one. Angel Decker Corey.
We apologize.
Yeah.
Words are hard and
names are harder.
And we don't read very well.
Names are harder.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's over there on the Facebook. Says racist is dividing people for the race and not the character.
Exactly.
Yes.
Very well said.
Well done.
Because
much better said than me saying your name.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Yes.
No, going back to that for a second, like, it's, again, we have to start treating people as individual people and not as a blanket. And especially, because again, the 24 news hour cycle, 24-hour news cycle, I did say that right. That's how they make their money is causing things and stirring up problems. If there's not a problem to report, they're not going to have a job. So they have to swirl stupidness
somewhere.
And the problem with it is we have to consciously, and it is hard to do, but we consciously have to go, you know what? I'm not going to be part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, you could go down the street and you could be a white person. And like, mentioned before, well, it may not, we might be doomed. Well, maybe. But then you doing what is right, no matter what, might be that linchpin that changes everything.
Yep.
And you never know. And just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
The throat.
Yeah. So the Pulitzer Prize is now, as far as I'm concerned, just as useless as
all the rest of
other
them.
Participation award.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense considering it's a prize.
Well, I mean, like, arguably, there was a point where
it meant something.
It again. I mean, I'm with you on the whole prize thing, but it meant something. It actually had a standard.
Right. When awards actually meant something to people, and they weren't just something that somebody gave out because they wanted to at the time,
or because it was politically expedient.
Right. Arbitrary reasons that mean absolutely nothing to them. Yeah.
So the Pulitzer Prize board got together and they picked the winner.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? They picked the winner.
They picked a winner of what?
Of the Pulitzer.
Of the Pulitzer
Prize.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was awarded to the now 18-year-old Darnell Frazier.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. You know that name?
No.
Or excuse me, Darnella. I apologize. Darnella.
I definitely don't know that name.
Yeah. She was the one who videotaped. It's not a videotape. I just dated myself.
Yeah, you did.
She is the one who recorded George Floyd's death. She's the one who stood there with the phone.
She had her phone out.
Yep.
She's the one that had her phone out. That everybody used the video footage of.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The 10-minute video was used in the trial of ex-Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, and Frazier also testified in the case. During her testimony, Frazier said, quote, Floyd was in pain. It seemed like he knew it was over for him. He was terrified. He was suffering. This was a cry for help, end quote. In April, they found, Chauvin guilty of murder charges against Floyd and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
His sentencing sometime this year. But that's not the point. The point that we're talking about, Pulitzer Prize Board. Mindy Marquez, co-chair of the Pulitzer Prize Board, said that Frazier's quick thinking in recording the incident was an important piece of documentation.
That's not quick thinking.
It's not?
No.
A teenage girl?
A teenage girl with a cell phone? It's not quick thinking.
Filming? Is not, or, recording, whatever you want to call it.
She was probably recording herself 10 seconds earlier and realized something else was going on and flipped the phone.
Yeah. Quote, the Floyd story in particular highlighted not only the essential role of journalists. She wasn't a journalist. She's a 17-year-old.
She's a teen.
17-year-old, 16-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Shut up. She's not a journalist.
Not a journalist.
Anyway, continuing on. But the increasing importance of ordinary citizens in the quest for truth and justice.
In the American way.
I was going to say, what is she trying to open up for Superman? What the hell?
I don't know.
Continuing on, quote, we want to note that the board has awarded a special citation to Darnella Frazier, the teenager witness who filmed and posted the transformative video that jolted viewers and spurred protest against police brutality around the world.
Yeah,
quote.
Inaccurately.
Yeah, you mean the one-sided...
The one-sided, the thing that actually forced everybody, once everybody threw their view out of it, forced them into the position of literally saying, well, death to all cops.
Yeah, because
that's something to be proud of.
Again, treating people under a blanket generalization instead of actually treating people on an individual basis.
Right.
Weird.
Right. It's like saying that George Floyd, and we're not going to rehash the case. It's like saying that George Floyd died because of the pressure on his neck, which was impossible.
arguably, it was his time to go. Now, whether or not he had somebody laying on his back or not had nothing to do with it, I don't think. But that's, again,
It was his time to go because the drugs in his system.
Neither here or there. The point of the matter is they've given, the Pulitzer Prize has given a special citation to a teenage girl.
Right. Who's not a journalist.
Who filmed something.
Uh-huh.
And it was used to tear a country apart.
Specifically ours.
Again, because the whole thing was never used to actually isolate just that incident.
Right.
It was used as a tool and a weapon to turn around and destroy every city, every town.
Yep.
Made even little bitty bumpkin towns into places that should have been, that they get over and blah 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 blah. It's so irritating to me. Also, the board said that Frazier received an honorary award for courageously recording the murder of George Floyd.
How is it courageous when you have nothing going on except for you standing there filming something? You aren't going to get in trouble doing that.
Yeah. Again, and they reuse the whole quest for truth and justice thing, calling basically journalists Superman. Last month, Frazier, who was 17 when she recorded the viral video, took to her Instagram page to express her reverence for the 1-year anniversary of George Floyd.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Quote, even though this is a traumatic, life-changing experience for me, I'm proud of myself. If it weren't for my video, the world wouldn't have known the truth.
Actually, they would have.
That's a lie.
They would have. And they wouldn't have been torn asunder.
I was going to say, if it wasn't for your video, cities wouldn't be burning.
At this moment. Well, again, they might still be burning, but at least you wouldn't have been the cause for it.
Because again, I'm not saying that you don't bring to light something that is wrong. You absolutely do. It is your right as a human being. But again, you don't use it to turn around and I don't know, gauge other places and other towns and other situations.
Once again, that's an individual issue, though.
Quote, I am 18 now, and I still hold the weight and trauma of what I witnessed a year ago.
Sure.
It's a lot easier now, but I'm not who I used to be. A part of my childhood was taken from me. End quote.
You're
shut up.
17 going on 18?
17 going on 18.
Yeah.
Shut up. You didn't. The only reason why your childhood was taken from you is because you were 17 going on 18, pumpkin. You weren't exactly a kid anymore.
And if we generalize like everybody else does,
No.
If we generalize like everybody else does, you're a 17-year-old female in a bad neighborhood. That means you've had sex for the past 5 years.
I'm just saying.
And if we generalized like everybody else does, that's where that stereotype goes.
It's just
12 to 13 years old being the average age to start having sex in those areas.
Yeah.
So, that being said, who actually took your childhood from you?
Yeah, but it's not the same thing. Like I'm sorry. Like you can't.
I'm just saying, if what she did was take a video.
Yeah.
It was basically a 10-minute long TikTok.
The only thing that I will give to this is it did show a different angle. You know what I mean? Because if it wasn't for this, if it wasn't for that, all there would have been the body cams, and that's it.
Right. And now you got a farther away view.
You've got a different angle.
A different viewpoint, yeah.
That's it. There was nothing special about it. And again, to turn around and use it as a weapon to divide the country, to divide towns and neighbors.
Yeah.
And you're proud of that?
Of course she is.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
Of course
done.
she is. Because not only did her stuff make her slightly famous, made her slightly famous. She's that half famous.
No, whatever. This to me this is just. I mean, not that I've really gave a flying fig about the Pulitzer anyway, but now the Pulitzer is up there with
Grammy.
Well, those I've never. Please, those.
Oh, the Nobel Peace Prize.
The Nobel Peace Prize. The Times person of all of that jazz.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean the paper it's written on. It is worthless.
The The trophy that you get is worth more than the prize.
Sadly.
Worth more than notoriety.
Big Pharma Steve over on Twitter at Stephen Airy. Diuretics cause you to pee. If you got the diarrhea, then it's probably something else that's the issue.
No, it's straight from those pistachios.
Nice you say, he hosted Fear Factor talking about Joe Rogan. I know that, but he didn't eat any of that stuff. He had everyone else do it.
How do you know?
Because it's Joe Rogan. He was the host.
So maybe he had to do it.
Maybe, I don't know. Tech Rue over on Twitter as well. Yeah, I'm saving the bugs for after I've eaten all of the rabbits. And I agree.
I'd wait till even after that. Like, you get rabbits.
There's grass. I'd eat grass before I'd eat bugs.
Well, I mean, I still need protein somehow.
Dandelion.
That's right, dandelion. There you go.
Oh, but you know what? I hope never runs out is American Pride Roasters coffee. Go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
I wonder if they can make a protein drink with it.
Cicada flavor.
No,
I wonder. I'm going to talk to DM, see if we can do cicada flavor.
No, we're not going to do cicada flavor.
I am. Go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com, and it's historically great coffee, guaranteed to make you swallow every single time you put it into your mouth. Go to our website, DOAShow.com. Follow us on all social medias at DOA Show, Mojo50.com. We got another hour. Stick around. We'll be right back. That's somehow how the music goes. Because I knew, I was like, this is the third time.
We're a little off on the things here, you know?
Oh.
What?
Even Ron thinks I'm sexy. For the record, it's not a cold. Just so
It's literally just a sore throat.
It's a, well, shit.
Bring it.
Well, you do have the bigger cup.
I do have a bigger cup. Kick it. Do 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 do. Here we go. So what are y'all doing over there? Let's see here. Disembodied voices. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Stop dying. Told you, don't do that in my house. Just don't die in my house. Why? Cuz.
Why?
Cuz.
Oh, that's right. I gotta make it a road.
Right.
He's like, it sounds great. It wasn't planned, Ron. It just. I'm just telling. I was walking down the highway. I'm just saying, like he. See, even Tech Rue likes the idea.
It would be better than Starbucks.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Steep dog turd would taste better than that Starbucks.
You're really on the dog turds tonight.
Well, because there's 2 new dogs at the house.
Oh.
Yeah, 2 did.
2?
2 did the puppet.
You got 2.
I didn't get yet.
She got 2.
She did.
2.
2.
Why not 1?
Well, because there were 2 left, and they're puppies, and You can't break the puppies apart. Well, kind of. And so, yeah, I mean, yeah. And I mean, they're cute and they're adorable. They're
adorbs.
They are. And they're actually really good considering.
Totes my goats.
They're really good for
adorbs.
For being a dog. Like I'm happy with it. I guess I just have to finish getting like I think they've only peed once in the house.
Oh, they're too small, Wednesday. Really.
Well, you keep time up.
Yeah, we're good.
I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I get up when I'm bleeding, really breathing. I'll never back down.
This is the collision of common sense and comedy. This is Defenders Live.
Oh my goodness.
You know, there's times when we do the show and we don't really know who's listening to at any point in time, really.
Yeah.
I mean, we know when you guys interact with us, but we don't really know.
We don't know everybody because there are people who don't interact.
There are people that don't normally interact. And there are people that just kind of listen offhand, and
yeah, because a lot of people do, listen to Mojo 50 through Mojo 50 Radio, or they go to the iHeart Radio under Mojo 50 Radio banner and click
so
that.
If they don't interact with us, we don't know.
Yeah,
specifically the one Ron Phillips.
Yeah. Apparently, who likes my voice too.
Likes your voice when it's deep.
Not for nothing. And as I've mentioned before, like if I could have my voice like this all the time, I'd be happy.
Without it being without it killing you?
Without the whole dry cough and junk. I'd be This is perfect. When I was a kid, I used to want this as like I was.
That's where you wanted.
I wanted to sing bass. I did. I was like, I want that low.
You just wanted to force your voice into that area at all times.
Kid, here's the deal. Can you imagine if this was my norm? Can you imagine how low I could actually get it?
Oh yeah,
like not quite Barry White, but close.
Oh yeah, you could get there.
I'm just saying. How the hell do you spell caveat?
CAV.
That's what I thought too, but CAV.
Yeah, EA.
Is it EA?
EA, caveat. Yeah.
Really?
That's it.
Okay. Sorry, yes. I was trying to do a reply.
A caveat. Anyway, while he's doing that reply, actually, there's something that I needed you guys to listen to. There's this wonderful person. He's here in North Carolina.
I love this man.
He's the lieutenant governor of North Carolina.
Yeah, I may have a man crush.
You do have a man crush.
Because and
he's a big boy.
When I grow up, I want to be just like him.
He's a little older, and you know what? We're just gonna listen to him.
The greatest example of that I saw and witnessed it firsthand on television was during 9/11. People running away from those burning buildings, running away in horror. We saw policemen and firemen running to those buildings, basically running to their deaths to go help others because they saw trouble and they knew that they were needed. That's got to be us in this day right here. We've got to run to the trouble, folks. And what is the trouble? The trouble is the Biden administration that is seeking to turn this country into a socialist hellhole.
Wow.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty close to right. There's about 3.5 minutes of this, so
I'm not.
We're just now getting into it.
I agree.
I
agree.
Yes.
And maybe and please somebody tell me like if I start being weird, but it's not just the Biden administration.
Yes.
Okay.
I agree.
It's not trying to single out again one section as being just the enemy. That's not it.
Mm-hmm.
There are much more deeper things that we're fighting against than just a human and in somebody who's in a political office. Okay? It's much deeper than that.
Yeah, it really is.
You're literally fighting human nature against human nature.
At that point?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's Because if you keep identifying it as just as a person, then once that person is gone, then you're going to become complacent and you're not going to care.
Right. And then you're going to have to find somebody else to blame.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's the only thing about this thing so far that I'm not keen on.
And it's Joe Biden.
Yeah, and it doesn't change.
Nobody's been
it doesn't
keen on
change.
Joe.
Yeah, it doesn't
Nobody's keen on Joe Biden.
Nobody. Joe Biden's not keen on Joe Biden. Half time he doesn't even know who the hell Joe Biden is.
Right.
It doesn't change my man crush at all. I'm just letting you know. I'm just like, buddy.
But all right.
But I get where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
The trouble is Antifa that wants to roam the streets and beat you into submission.
I don't
The
disagree.
trouble is Black Lives Matter.
I don't disagree.
Claims to care about the lives of black people, but has turned a blind eye. While violence in black communities are taking lives at a genocidal rate, they've turned a blind eye.
True.
Yeah.
That's where the trouble is, and that's what we've got to run to. And we've got all the right in the world on our side. And there ain't no reason to be afraid. And there ain't no reason to not take the challenge dead on. Because I'm going to tell you who we come from, folks. We don't come from some weak, jellyback, spineless people. That's not who we come from. None of us. And it doesn't matter what color you are, what nation your folks hail from, how much money you got. We all share the same name. We are Americans. And at Bunker Hill, there was Americans. And at Fredericksburg and Gettysburg, there was Americans. And at Iwo Jima, raising that flag on Suribachi, it was Americans. And at Pork Chop Hill, it was Americans.
Yep.
Quezon, there was Americans.
Stop.
So yeah.
Stop just for a second.
Big guy mentioned Pork Chop Hill? Or wait, what's this?
No, I was going to say, everybody was clapping all the way up until he got to Pork Chop Hill. No one else knows about, unless you're military or you're, part of big into war.
History, yeah.
History. You don't have a clue.
You don't know what the hell Pork Chop Hill is.
Everybody's like, oh, yeah, no, that's great. And then you
Pork Chop Hill.
And everybody stopped and was like, what the hell? Pork Chop Hill.
And now they're looking on their phone like, who?
Yeah, everybody's Googling. That's why there was dead silence. Everyone's Googling on their phone.
Making sure he was right. He didn't just make that up,
Is
right?
he just hungry or is he
what's
just
going on?
speaking truth? Go ahead. I'm sorry. It just made me giggle.
And on 9/11, there was Americans who ran towards those burning buildings.
Yep.
That is who you share your heritage with. You do not share your heritage with a weak and ineffective people who cower at the sign of trouble. You share your heritage with a strong and brave people who are determined to hold on to their freedom and for the freedom of future generations. Guys, it's time for us to stand up and be that generation. It's time for us to stand strong and proud and remember who we are, that we are Christians, that we are Americans, that we are Republicans, and that we are conservatives. And as long as we stand...
Well, at least he had it in the right lineup. Generally speaking, he had it in the right lineup.
No, and I got that.
Yeah,
I was
Christian first, then American, and then you can do political parties.
Yeah, no, and I got that.
That's fine.
I got that.
It's okay.
Again, but just because you're Republican or conservative doesn't make you better than somebody else.
No,
just so we're completely clear.
Right.
It's
more of a call of history at that point.
No, and I understand
I get
that too. I do understand. Again, I don't know if it's old age. I don't know if I'm just weird.
You're just being cynical.
I'm just being cynical. But there's a point where if we're going to actually try to push for change, then a lot of change has to start in the things we say and how we say it.
Very
this
true.
is part of it is you can't be beholden to a party.
Right.
You have to be beholden to a principle, and that's my problem. It's not a big problem.
That's where it comes in, yeah.
I understand he's trying to
convey the principles that were originally espoused by utilizing the party.
Yes, he's associating them as the one thing, and I don't do that.
Because they're not anymore.
Not anymore.
Right.
But anyway, moving on.
Hairs.
Yeah.
And as the vanguard of freedom in this nation, freedom will survive here. And not only survive, it will thrive. So guys, it's time to put on our packs. It's time to fix those bayonets. It's time to get ready, because we got a fight on our hand. And our fight is not for us. It's for all those generations that's going to come behind us. Let's save America, folks, because if there's to be freedom in this nation in the future, it is only going to become at the behest of the Republican Party, the grand old party, the party of freedom and equality, the one that always has been and the one that always will be. God bless you all. Thank you very much. God bless the great state of North Carolina, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
When was this? It was at the GOP convention, but when was that?
That was the NCGOP convention, so that was just recently here.
I wish I'd have paid attention to that. We could have went.
Yeah, it was okay.
I mean, it. We should have went.
Yeah.
But no, I don't disagree with the angles he's coming from. Again, I'm being nitpicky. I know.
Yeah, well, it's better to be nitpicky about it and understand exactly what he's saying.
Yeah, no, and
it's
again,
not like you're trying to cut him out or
no,
poo him or anything like that.
No,
The speech it's great.
Yeah, and I understand what he's saying. The problem with it is we can't be saying things that arguably could be double meanings. You know, we can't have that. If you're going to say something, then you need to say what that word is and not be generalized. You know, it's sad, but it's true.
Be as exact as possible with your words.
Yeah, it's much more cumbersome. It's a bigger pain in the ass. I understand that, but come on. Just
as precise as we can be. And with that, I understand where you're coming from with that because he's at the GOP convention.
No, and I understand. Yeah, that's why he's doing it and saying it from the political. God, words are hard.
Yeah.
I understand. I completely understand. And again, very awesome speech.
And we know where it's actually leading to. It's just it can be taken so far askew.
Yeah. Like the part of the problem with dealing with people is, and especially when you've decided that a different party is the enemy and parties are against parties, is when you start talking from a party perspective and not from a principle perspective.
Yeah.
Then you just continue on with that.
Party versus party versus party. It's red versus blue. It's
the
white
enemies
versus black.
that you're fighting, and it's
spy versus spy.
Yeah,
great show.
I do miss that show.
I do too. I miss Spy vs. Spy. It was really good. Still a free slug over there on the Twitters. Pork Chop Hill. It's next to Strawberry Fields Forever, right? Mm-hmm. Also, the People's Snarking Jackhole. Pork Chop Hill. Pork chop.
Pork chop. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Pork chop. Anyway,
speaking of food.
It's
a food rendered day.
It does segue perfectly. A Wisconsin woman reportedly tried to set her husband on fire.
Okay. I mean, it is Friday, so okay.
Yeah. After she believed that he attempted to poison her chicken wings.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a big difference.
In the early hours of June 3rd, this lady had allegedly set her husband on fire while he was sleeping.
What?
Now, how does one attempt to poison chicken wings while they're sleeping?
They didn't say that he did it at that time.
Was he sleep poisoning?
No. They didn't say that he was trying to poison it when she tried to burn him.
Okay. But that would usually, if you found out somebody was trying to poison you, wouldn't you respond kind of in moment?
Well, considering that, like, if you're being poisoned, more than likely you only have a certain amount of time to live.
Yes. So I'm saying, like, if it's early hours and he's asleep, it's been several hours.
Yes.
So whatever effect would have happened early. So the fact that you waited till he was asleep to setting on fire kind of...
Maybe she was in the bathroom the entire time.
Maybe. The husband woke up when he realized that his hair was on fire and attempted to put it out with his bare hands.
What?
Because, that's what you do.
Yeah.
The man rushed out of bed and went to his 3-month-old daughter's bedroom.
After putting his hair out?
Either that or he ran out head ablaze.
Oh.
He grabbed the baby and sprinted from the house. The father informed authorities that the wife was the only person in the home when he was set on fire. Oh, the only other person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He told police that Smith, the wife, had been acting strangely for the last 3 or 4 months, according to the New York Post. On June 2nd, Smith accused her husband of poisoning her chicken wings.
Uh-huh.
As the old adage goes, hell hath no fury, like a woman who had her chicken wings poisoned.
No, actually, that's not the adage.
It's not?
No.
Oh. I'm sure it's something like that.
Pretty close.
That same day, the couple got into a spicy fight. I see what I did there. When the husband told his wife that he planned on leaving her and moving out of their home.
Maybe because she's gone nuts.
Without a wing and a prayer in saving their relationship.
Come on!
She allegedly set her husband on fire. Police say that at around 4 a.m., Smith, the wife, filled a cup with lighter fluid, poured it on his head, and used said lighter to ignite it.
You know, somebody had a lot of fun writing this article.
I know. I would have had a whole lot more.
Oh,
in
yeah.
here,
Oh, yeah.
but then again, I could easily get carried away.
Yes, you can. It's called tangents.
Let's see. D. Nice Wilson, the property owner where the couple lived, commented on the blazing altercation. I'm going to keep going.
I'm just going to let that
Keep
go.
going.
I'm going to let it go.
Quote, because I've known the husband since he was a kid, I'm just heartbroken for him. Wilson, who was a longtime family friend of the husband, told WDJT-TV, quote, the house is just a thing, and that's why you have insurance. But as long as he's going to be okay, that's my main concern.
Was he about to move out for you?
I don't know.
Or maybe you're like a motherly figure to him. I don't know.
Well, he just said that he's known him since he was a kid.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they're not the same age.
That's true.
I think D Nice was trying to be a little nicer.
As possible.
Uh-huh.
I'm just glad he was able to get the baby out and that he's going to be okay. It'll be a long road to recovery for his burns, but ultimately he'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the
So wait. Sorry.
yeah.
Lighter fluid.
Uh-huh.
If you light lighter fluid on fire,
Yeah.
it's kind of similar to the alcohol where it doesn't actually it's not the lighter fluid itself.
It's the fumes.
It's the fumes.
Yep.
And as long as
It's the gas form of the
right.
Yeah.
And all he would really have to have dealt with is more like the heat than the fire itself at that point.
Yeah.
Like he probably has some singed hair, and I'm guessing he has some skin burns on his hands.
Well,
And maybe some burnage on the scalp, but like it's not.
I mean, he's going to be wearing a hat for a while.
No, he's not.
Well, I mean, depends. If you wake up from it, hair burns quick,
Oh, that's true. That's very true.
you know.
It's very true.
So, I mean, he's going to be bald, whether or not, he's burned out there, and how badly is another story. But, I'm just saying, he's going to be bald, and so therefore he's going to need to wear a hat.
At least on the
it's
fringes.
patchy, and
Right.
yeah, because you can't shave it to make it even.
And you can't shave it if your head's also been blistered up.
Adam W. Johnson over on Twitter. Collect call from Bob. I grabbed the baby in a fire. That's fantastic.
You know what? That is how people used to send messages back and forth. Collect calls, and then you don't have to accept it.
Yeah, kids don't know what that's like.
I'd like to send a collect call. Okay, what's the number? This number here. Okay, say your name after the beep. Beep.
You're receiving a collect call from... Hey, Mom, I'm ready for you to pick me up. Come get me.
Beep.
Do you accept the charges?
No.
No, I'll be there in a minute.
Oh,
It's all
those were the days.
kids have no idea.
Those are the days, man. It was great.
It's weird. It really is weird. So, yeah, the lady, the wife, allegedly told officials that she has mental health issues and that she she took some prescription medication around 2 a.m. the night of the fiery incident. She claims that she was not trying to kill her husband.
You were.
You
you
set
were.
his head on fire.
You were. You were trying to kill him.
Either that or you're really bad at killing bugs.
Right.
I'm just saying something.
Yeah, there's if you go to Princeton, you can go eat them.
There you go. Well, no, Jersey. That's the Princeton High School.
Princeton, New Jersey. Yeah.
Was it in Princeton?
Yeah.
No. I thought it was someplace.
Princeton High School in Princeton, New Jersey.
No, whatever. Jersey needs to.
Jersey.
It just needs to be
Go
engulfed.
away. Go away.
The Garden State, my ass.
Just go away. Oh, she might have been one of those crazy white women that we talked about.
Oh, from the beginning?
Crazy liberal white women. No, the crazy
Oh,
liberal
the crazy white. Oh,
yeah. You know how liberal white women are twice as likely to be crazy?
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
there you go.
So we go from Wisconsin all the way to the Indias.
Okay.
Yeah. Vaccine passports have been one of the hottest topics over the last several months in the U.S. as growing portions of the population get vaccinated. Activists and officials have debated whether or not, passports are necessary.
You mean the vaccination passport?
Yeah, vaccination passports are necessary and carry proof of your vaccination, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, to enjoy the privileges of, being free.
Because that's how freedom works.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Jackasses.
Mm-hmm. But
Okay.
on Thursday,
This
Reuters-
past Thursday?
yeah.
That'd be yesterday?
Yesterday, Reuters reported that the police in a rural part of the country
Okay.
of India,
Of India.
including the Nawari district
Hashtag nailed it. Hashtag like a native.
of Madhya Pradesh state.
Okay.
Pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, I don't speak Indian, so I don't know.
Anyway,
Sounds right.
are forcing unvaccinated citizens to wear signs with skulls and crossbones. The sign includes text that declares, "Do not come near me. I am not vaccinated. Please stay away from me."
So they're wearing masks
And a sign.
signs.
And a sign, yeah. That has to be on them at all times.
Now, I'm going to just throw this out there. And I don't know how they're doing it in India, but here in the United States,
Right.
if you are vaccinated, allegedly,
Mm-hmm.
then you don't have to wear a mask. Now, I understand some people do, but
Right,
but
right.
we're going to play,
Yeah.
you get vaccinated, you don't have to wear the mask.
Yeah, of course.
So arguably, just wearing the mask would be an indicator that you may not have been vaccinated, right?
Well, allegedly, yes. That's allegedly. Yes, right. And that's because people lie.
No, and I understand that people lie. And I understand that there are people who are vaccinated who still wear them. What I'm saying is assuming that everyone's on the honor system and everybody's doing what they're supposed to.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you see someone in America walking around with a mask on, you're generally going to assume they're not vaccinated if they're following the mandates and protocols and suggestions and blah, blah, blah.
Correct.
Right?
Right.
So why do you have to wear a sign too?
Because the government. Why emblazon their own people?
Actually, the real reason why is to shame them even more into...
That's exactly right. So why would they do it? Is to teach them a lesson. Watching the low vaccination rates in our district, we decided to honor the people who get vaccinated. But this has also been found a large number of people who were not vaccinated. That's the Nawari police. They said, to teach them a lesson and encourage them to get vaccinated, we administered an oath to get them inoculated as soon as possible.
I'd be a jerk. I'd be like, no. But then again, I'm American. Like I have that little
you're not
arrogance that these people are not used to because I, have at least a semblance of an understanding of what freedom is. They don't. So I would intentionally just be like, oh, nobody around me? Like actually to have that where people stay away from me.
Yeah.
I'm left the hell alone and I don't have to get this thing pumped into my veins. Sounds fantastic.
Mm-hmm. According to the outlet, 14% of the Madhya Pradesh residents have received at least one vaccine shot so far.
Okay.
And places like Nawari, but have some of the lowest inoculation rates in the nation.
So
what?
Like, who cares? Like, I
Apparently
feel,
Nawari does.
I feel bad for anybody living in India, but
yeah, right.
whatever. Whatever. I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of this.
Well, that's what we're doing. I mean, yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. I've fallen on a verbal crutch. I know.
A verbal crutch.
Yeah. Big Pharma Steve.
I know, I see that, but that I think
it's a verbal crutch.
I think it's a little bit more than a verbal crutch.
It's a verbal crutch. I've fallen on it and I can't get up. So leave me alone.
I think it's funny.
Leave me alone.
But
have as many shots as you need.
It's funny. And it's Friday. You could do that.
I know.
But then I would be very curious about somebody would.
How many people are actually still listening at the
yeah. One, how many people are still listening after the game is over? And two, how many but-ums were there? Or but-ah? I'm just saying. I'm curious. Inquisitive minds would like to know.
Right. I mean, you can count them if you want to.
Well, it's kind of late now. We'd have to start next week.
Right. But I'm saying you could. I'm fine with this. It might even help me stop using it again.
I don't know. I'm weird like that. Like once I become conscious of it, I try not to.
Yeah.
Like oddly enough, I'll do any other type of stammer or stutter or hesitation or whatever, but I don't. I've consciously worked really hard to never do, and I say never. I say a lot. Yeah, the or the ums and
yes.
and whatever. See.
This is Defenders Live.
TechRoo over on Twitter, the cyanide wear is far too vulgar for the sensibilities of this fine show.
Wow, you're putting us on a pedestal for that.
I was going to say you're giving us way too much credit. Having said that, though, I completely agree. I think we would have the same idea for a sign.
Probably so.
It would, yeah, there would be expletives in it and
sign, everywhere.
maybe some sign language.
There'd be a few things.
You know, a reference or two about one's mother. Something like that. Nice you say knee over on Twitter also. I'm having my own drinking game tonight. I finished my fun work. Now I'm drinking my Jameson.
Right, and that's in response
Or
to
actually, excuse me, he said Jameson.
Jameson.
That's the low shelf version. That's not top shelf. That's not Jameson. That's the...
Oh, no, it is Jameson.
No, Jameson is top shelf. That's that $30 bottle or $60 bottle or whatever. Jameson is like $15. And after about the third, the taste is close to the same, so you don't mind.
It's fine.
It is.
At that point. It's just fine.
It's funny.
But that was in response to Big Pharma Steve in our conversation during the break, where he said, we should all do a drinking game for when Steven says, but or but But maybe we'll all be smashed too quickly.
That's true.
Yes.
It's a possibility. I mean, that's a game in and of itself. Who can survive?
Right. Because if you're going to go to verbal crutches, oh, buddy.
Yeah.
We did that for, who did we do that for?
I don't know. This is your story.
No, we did that. Like we did that for
I have no idea.
Watson.
Was it Watson?
Yeah, we did that for Watson. We started pinging him every time he said
Oh, we did, didn't we?
And like.
That's right. We did.
And likes.
And like. There was a point where, Watson.
He asked for it, though.
Poor Watson was saying like a 17-year-old Valley girl. It was so bad. I'm like, see, now I'm doing it.
But he asked for it.
He did.
He asked for it.
Brother, you're throwing him out there like candy.
He's like, fix it.
He's like, help me. I'm like a $2 whore on nickel night, Chief. That's how often you're throwing this around.
Right.
That's how bad you're throwing this around. So, moving on to more excitements and fun stuff. Far-left Democratic Representative Rashid Tlaib of Michigan declared Thursday to her 1.4 million Twitter followers.
That's a lot of Twitter followers.
Especially for like a politician and on Facebook. I mean, on Twitter. Well, I guess not.
Especially one with a face like hers. What?
It's true.
What?
She's every picture I've ever seen her in, she's yelling and
always.
So
I've never seen her smile nicely.
I've never seen her not yelling.
Exactly.
So I don't know.
That's the like.
I'd get tired of that quick.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. But she told her Twitter followers that, quote, freedom of speech doesn't exist for Muslim women in Congress, end quote.
You know where freedom of speech doesn't exist for Muslim women?
Probably in Muslim predominant countries.
Yep.
Like the Middle East.
Yep.
She said this after her Muslim female colleague, Representative Ilhan Omar, who is the Democratic representative of Minnesota.
Yeah.
Faced backlash from her own party after appearing to equate the U.S. and Israel to terrorist organizations earlier this week.
Well, that's because she equated terrorism and terrorist organizations to the U.S. and Israel.
I don't even think that the reason why they got backlash was that one. It wasn't the association.
They were upset that she was equating America and the U.S. to them. Yeah,
I think somebody got
Israel.
wise and was like, "You're contradicting yourself," because she supports Hamas.
Right.
So how do you support them and then turn around and call them terrorist groups?
Right. Yes. I agree.
Because
with you
by doing said thing, she is then therefore actually siding with what everyone else says, that Hamas is a terrorist organization. They're infiltrating the Palestinians. The Palestinians are therefore, as a collective with Hamas, are even
also
as useful idiots are thereby by association.
Correct. Yes.
Are terrorists too.
Uh-huh.
And they didn't like that. That's what it was about. It had nothing to do with the fact that she compared America and Israel to terrorists.
Well,
because a lot of them believe that.
Yeah. What I'm saying, though, is that when she said that, what she was trying to convey is what you believe them to be terrorists, I believe these guys to be.
Yeah.
But she didn't say it well enough to where people understood it that way.
They don't even know what's going on over there. Quote, freedom of speech doesn't exist for Muslim women in Congress. The benefit of the doubt doesn't exist for Muslim women in Congress. House Democratic leadership should be ashamed of its relentless and exclusive tone policy policing of Congresswomen of color.
So let me just kind of interject here and
sure, because I've got a couple myself.
Want to point out little nugget,
just a little tidbit. Yeah.
Okay. You are the extreme of extremists as far as our current congressional people go.
Okay.
Your own party will not stand behind you because you are so far out there.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with the fact that you're a woman.
Uh-huh.
It has nothing to do with the fact that you're a Muslim.
Uh-huh.
It has nothing to do with the fact of your skin color. Uh-huh. It has to do with your political stance and the principles that you espouse.
Yep.
And while Democrats in general would normally say, oh yeah, we stand behind you, you are so far out. If they stood behind you, they would be completely ostracized by their own people.
Yeah, they're so far behind you, they're not even near you. At
this point, they're the center compared to you.
Yeah, they're They're the voice of reason, which says a lot. The fun part about this tweet is there's no substantial anything.
Right.
Nothing.
Nothing substantial.
Everything that she says in here is a buzzword.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about trying that freedom of speech doesn't exist for Muslim women. Well,
in Congress.
The Congress part is irrelevant.
Right.
I mean, it is it not for her point, but I'm saying like you could take Congress out of it.
Yes.
The benefit of doubt doesn't exist for Muslim women. The leadership, any leadership, should be ashamed of its relentless, exclusive tone policing of women of color. Do you see what I'm saying?
All that buzzword setups. She just intertwined Congress in there a couple times.
Yeah, there's no actual ground. There's no meat. There's nothing. It's speculation. It's accusation. Thank you. It's just thin air.
That's it.
It's a vapor.
It is smoke.
If I wouldn't even call it smoke, because smoke is
steam.
At least
it is steam.
That's steam. Steam is closer.
Okay.
Closer.
Okay. All right.
I'm trying to think, and forgive me because it's escaping me. What is the? There's a name of gas that you can't see.
Like natural gas?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, you just did. Like that. That's what I'm thinking of.
It's like helium.
Yeah, it's pointless.
She's just releasing hot air.
I was gonna, at least helium has a purpose.
Right. Lift.
It makes things lighter. On Monday, Omar has sparked outrage after telling her 1.2 million Twitter followers. There's a lot of Twitter followers going on there. Why don't we have 1. Never mind. I know why.
We know. You know why.
Because we actually
don't
stand on principle. And
we don't use the buzzwords and everything else. Yeah. Also, we're not as active on social media as we should be. But anyway.
That's true, too.
That is very true.
But she told all of her followers, quote, "We must have the same level of accountability and justice for all victims of crimes against humanity."
I'm sorry. What does that have to do with you?
No. But
and Ilhan Omar.
Well, no. I'm saying that's what Omar said.
Oh, that's what Omar said.
Yes, this is Omar's tweet. Okay. Yeah. And again, I agree.
Sure.
With that statement.
With that part.
We as human beings.
Yes.
Must have the same level of accountability and justice for all victims of crimes against humanity. Period.
Of crimes. You don't even have to put against humanity. Yep. Of crimes. Victims of crimes.
Yeah. We have seen unthinkable atrocities committed by the U.S., Hamas, Israel, Afghanistan, and the Taliban.
Okay.
I asked at Secretary Blinken.
Hey, Blinken.
Where people are supposed to go for justice, end quote.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you lost me, Pumpkin. Because, I'm sorry, the U.S. and Hamas and Israel and Afghanistan and the Taliban, none of those are on the same plane.
Right. They're nowhere close.
No. Now, you could take some of them and put them into the same spot.
Sure. But you have to take them at specific times in society.
And even if, let's just for an argument's sake.
Sure.
If you're going to actually come out here and say, well, the U.S. has committed all these atrocities and blah, 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 blah,
okay.
then show the evidence.
Right.
Because I will just as quickly denounce the United, well, not denounce it, but I will, well, I guess denounce is the right word.
Yeah, technically. Denounce the actions.
The actions of the United States if they're committing actual crimes against humanity.
Right.
I'm just saying, but
if they're committing war crimes against humanity, things that they've already put down in law saying that they do not do.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about this crap where you just go, oh well, it's a people of color and blah, 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 blah. Shut up. No.
I'm also not talking about waterboarding somebody because that's not really a crime against humanity.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm talking about a legitimate type of situation where it is documented that we went in and we wiped out a town
for no reason.
For no reason other than the sheer fun of it. That is a crime against humanity.
Yep.
That is an atrocity, and that, I will agree with you on, needs to be held accountable for.
Right.
But that's it. Until you show me something like that, I'm going to assume that you're just trying to start stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Omar's remarks drew sharp condemnation from across the political spectrum, including from the at least dozen fellow House Democrats.
At least dozen?
At least a dozen.
At least a dozen.
Could be more.
Probably more.
The Minnesota representative then clarified her comments while slamming her Democratic colleagues for calling her out. Quote, "It is shameful for colleagues who call me when they need my support to now put out a statement asking for clarification, not just a call."
Actually, no, it's not. It's completely not.
To ask for clarification? There's nothing wrong with that.
Clarification is one thing. Also, it's not shameful for quote-unquote colleagues, meaning people of the same party, to call you for your support about something that their party is doing. If the party is doing it, once again, this is why we don't like parties, but if the party is doing it and they're calling on you and saying, hey, we need you to back what we're doing as a party so that we're all as one.
Yeah.
If they did that, there's no shame in that.
No.
In comparison to asking you to clarify what you mean, because your statement was so broad that it had way too many things that could be said about it. You need to specify in what way. Are they like Hamas? Are you saying that Hamas is a terrorist organization that you don't believe?
Yeah, that's a good place to start at. Are you saying that Hamas is not as bad and therefore is what makes it more like the U.S.? Or are you saying America is as
Hamas. Bad as Hamas?
There's your first line that you have to cross.
So which one is it? Is it that Hamas really isn't that bad, that they're just trying to protect their people or whatever, and that's what you believe, and so technically it's not that bad, and so they're on the same level as the U.S., who's out there fighting wars in other countries? Or are you saying that Hamas is bad?
Yeah.
Which you say you don't believe, but Hamas is bad, but America is just as bad.
Yeah, like there's so many ways you could take this, and it's just, anyway, continuing on with her whining. In the tweet, quote, "The Islamic tropes of this statement are offensive.
Mm-hmm.
The constant harassment and silencing from the signers of this letter is unbearable," end quote. And again, just because somebody asked you for a clarification doesn't mean they're Islamophobic. It doesn't mean that they have something, and not for nothing, even if they do disagree with you, it doesn't make them Islamophobic.
Yep.
Just because you feel that it is a good weapon to throw that around, eventually, pumpkin, just like rape and every damn thing else that's being used, any other buzzword that's being thrown around, eventually it's not going to work anymore. And then where are you going to be?
Right.
I mean, they'll move on to something else. I'm sure they'll find something else.
They'll find something.
But at the moment, if people just stood there and said, I'm not Islamophobic, it's not a bad thing to question the people you work with. It's not bad to question someone for clarity's sake.
Right. How could I be Islamophobic when I know the language?
Or again, going back to the clarification thing.
Yeah.
How's it Islamophobic to ask to understand better?
Exactly. When I'm just asking for you to explain yourself to make it easier for me to understand.
Yeah, to make sure
so I don't misunderstand
That's
you.
exactly what I was going to say.
Why is that a problem?
It's only a problem because you're getting called out on it.
Right. And you don't want to explain yourself because the broader you are in your statement, the harder it is for people to pinpoint where you're wrong.
Yes. And somebody like her, and Rashid Tlaib, and everybody else, they don't. And it's not just her. There are people on the right that do the same thing.
Yes.
They make a living off of broad, sweeping statements.
Uh-huh.
Because then, as you said, there's no accountability. It's harder to pinpoint them down. That's how they make their money. They say just enough of something with a little bit of truth to it, a teensy sprinkle,
right? A
word or two that actual is truth, and then the rest is a blatant lie. And as long as they can throw that out there and then never get nailed down on something, they're quote unquote doing their job. They can maintain their careers, stay in power,
right,
and continue to divide people.
Yes,
that's all it is. It's a joke.
I agree. Apparently, somebody didn't like us over on the D Live.
Yeah, whatever.
That's fine.
Love you too.
Hey, yeah, have fun. It's all good.
Let's see.
Speaking of
Oblivion flickering on Twitter, name a gas you can't see or hear, silent but deadly.
That's right.
Adam W. Johnson on
It'll
Twitter.
kill you, though.
It damn sure will. Adam W. Johnson over on Twitter. Muslim women are treated better by Republican congressmen than they are by Muslim men.
Also very true.
And they're paid more. Is that bad? I know that's not what he meant, but I'm not going to lie. The first time I read that tweet, that's exactly what I thought.
That's where you went. I mean, the dowry was more than just a camel.
Yeah.
And 2 donkeys.
Dowry, nothing. She kept everything, and there was no marriage involved.
Right.
Anyway.
That's how it works. But really, speaking of getting rid of broad statements, a Virginia Tech football player allegedly beat a man to death after he pretended to be a woman online to seek sexual relations with the player.
You said that wrong. I know everybody was picking on you earlier about the ums and the ahs. But you didn't say that word right. There must be a typo there.
What do you mean?
Well, you said that he beat a man to death.
Yeah.
When he went to go meet a woman.
Yeah.
Was it the husband?
No.
It wasn't the husband.
No.
It was the woman. Again, you forgot the WO part, the woman.
Let me reread it a little slower.
Yeah, do that.
I'll be a little slower.
Okay.
A Virginia Tech football player allegedly beat a man to death after he pretended to be a woman online to seek a sexual relationship with the player.
I don't condone this by any stretch of the imagination.
But you completely understand it?
I at least, understand like a throat punch. I really do. Like, I don't understand.
I'm going to knock you out.
Like, it's bad enough in my, like, you're lying online. Like, you're going to get found out, you dumbass.
Eventually, yes.
Yeah, you're going to meet for sex. Guess what? Somebody's going to figure out at some point during the event
that doesn't look right.
This attachment's the same as mine. What the hell?
Hold on here.
I get it. The whole catfishing thing where, I'm not really this,
I'm not
person
who I
that
say I am.
I've put on here and blah, blah, blah. Right. I actually look completely different.
Sure.
But at least as a woman, from, a woman doing it to a woman, I say doing it to a woman, I mean like,
being a female being a female and catfishing
pretending to
man.
Pretending to be another woman.
Right.
But, you're still a woman. It's still, in the end, you're still a woman. It's still a lie. And the guy is still going to be upset, but at least you're less likely to get beat to death.
Right.
Whereas if you get into it, I don't condone it at all, but I can imagine being in said situation, thinking that, this is nice. Oh, this is great. And you start getting into it and clothes start coming off and you always start at the top and you work your way down. And then by the time you get to finishing unpackaging or, unwrapping that package,
there's more there than you thought.
Yeah, more than meets the eye.
That's right.
And then
Transformers.
Yeah, and then you turn around and get a little freaked. I mean, I don't blame him.
I could understand
completely.
Yep. Overreaction, I'm sure.
Just a
but
tad.
In the heat of the night.
That was the heat of the moment. I was going a completely different song.
Right, yeah. Anyway, 40-year-old restaurant worker.
Wow.
Was found beaten to death in his apartment on June 1st. Police later arrested the 18-year-old football player from Virginia Tech and charged him with second-degree murder.
You're not going to try and read
I didn't do the victim's name. I'm not doing his name.
No, I got that.
Is that because you want me to say the name?
There's no way in hell I could do it right either. I think you're more braver than I am about attempting people's names.
Yeah.
I end up when I know I can't get it, and I just butcher it on purpose. That's kind of my.
Do you want me to say it just because?
No. I mean, we are maintaining consistency. You didn't say the victim. So
all right.
All
right. Paul Smith was found dead, beaten to death in his apartment on June 1st.
By who?
By a Cinnamon Atut.
Damn it. I'd have called him Cinnamon.
Cinnamon Atuti.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Prosecutors say that Atut.
Excuse me. Sorry. It's not funny.
It is funny.
It's not funny.
Had met up with Smith. one time for oral sex after meeting him on a dating app and Tinder.
Okay. So he should have known.
Nope, no oral.
I got that. I got that.
Clothes were stayed on. Clothes stayed on.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going.
They allege that the second time,
Allegedly.
the two met on May 31st. A toot
Pardon me.
discovered Smith was a man and not a woman, as he had said on the dating app. So a toot beat him to death.
It is man.
That's right. So a toot beat him to death. A toot claims...
Silent but deadly.
That's right. He allegedly punched Smith 5 times before he fell to the ground.
5 times you weren't hitting him hard enough.
Right. Police say a toot.
You gotta stop because. Pardon me.
Told them he heard a bubbling and gurgling noise as he left the apartment.
It's because he was choking on his own blood, sir. You could have at least tipped him on his side.
Put him to the side. He would have lasted a little longer.
A little bit longer.
Police say that a toot
Pardon me.
told them Smith didn't fight back.
Well, why would he? At that point, you kind of, the first punch is probably enough to, especially when you're not expecting it,
And that he continued to punch him and stomp him after he had fallen to the ground.
Now, again, I don't condone it. I don't condone it. Completely understand it.
Yep.
Putting myself into a toot's shoes.
Excuse you.
I'm sorry. It's that diet I'm on. It's causing me to be gassy. But anyway,
gassy. It's fine.
I understand the initial
Shock.
Yeah, the initial shot, the hit, the first punch.
That's valid.
Completely understand. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I would probably do it too.
Yep.
Just because, that's like a holy hell, what happened kind of thing. Okay.
Yes.
After that, not so much.
No, the stomping and everything else.
Once he's on the ground, that's that. Yeah, now you've become a teensy bit excessive.
That's a bit much.
Yeah.
Just a bit
There
much.
was a line. You crossed it way
back there. Yeah.
Way back there.
On Wednesday, a toot
Sorry.
and his attorney confirmed some of the details in court, but wanted to dispel any notion that a toot
I'm so sorry.
killed Smith randomly. What? This wasn't just a random killing.
No, they met up twice, and the second time he found out he got more bang for his buck.
More than meets the eye. Quote, I'm not saying what happened was acceptable, but this was more than someone just showing up to an apartment and punching someone.
Well, no, it obviously was. But again, when you put yourself in that place, again, I would like to think I would not go so far as to kick the man and beat them within an inch of their life. But
that came from a Toots attorney,
so sorry,
Jimmy Turk.
God, you can't make this stuff up. Anyway, but you don't know your situation. The kid's 18.
Yes.
Okay, he's obviously, to be doing something like this is a risk in and of itself. Okay, let's be honest. And then you've met once and you think everything is okay, and you go for a second time, and you discover you have been lied to,
right,
deliberately.
Yes.
Again,
I do have a question. I want you to see the picture.
Oh shit.
Of the guy.
Oh, which one?
Well, both.
Okay.
But I want you to see the picture. So, prepare yourself.
Okay.
That's a toot.
So sorry. I apologize.
And that's the guy pretending to be a girl.
That's
Looks like a toot needs glasses.
well, no, like, so this must be like his
Normal
day job, not in drag.
Yeah, this is like him normal day job. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's no. I still can't see it. I mean, I guess with the right wig and enough makeup and junk,
I guess you can pass.
yeah, you might be able to pass that for a woman, I guess. But
At 40 years old, man, you're starting to get a little longer the teeth for this sort of thing.
that's what I thought. But
Yeah.
oh, he definitely looks like a dude.
Yeah, definitely, dude.
So
Got the Adam's apple and everything.
yeah, man, I don't know.
That's a dude.
It might have been intentional, but I don't know. But then again, being a high school or a college football player,
Right. He's just
there may
going
have
with
been a threat thrown out there that may not have been supposed to have been threatened. And
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe
he's
so.
like, you're not going to jeopardize my career, sir, you 40-year-old bastard.
Yeah.
Anyway, go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com because there is something that will never betray you when you open up the package.
That's right.
AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Historically great coffee, flavored and unflavored, coffees and teas, sugars.
All the rest of it.
All the good stuff over there. AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Go to Mojo50.com. Those are the guys that, for some goofy reason, keep us on the air.
And he listens to the show.
I know. He must be bored. Go to Mojo50.com. Follow us on all social medias at DOA Show. We'll see y'all Monday. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.